Hit it! It's time to party! Zooming, 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 zooming. Not gonna lose no weight, just want to appreciate. I got enough fans attracted to my phone. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Mary TCG, and this is 10 Dawn Testing, a totally original concept, definitely not copied from anywhere. Ever wonder to yourself, how could I starve my opponent and pudding them? Ever wonder to yourself, how can I play a Nell but be able to remove 10 costs again with Kingdom Come? And ever wonder to yourself, how can I inflict the maximum amount of mental damage to my opponent? Presenting Queen. Ew, not that Queen. This one. After a lot of trial and error and a lot of losing, and even after a few concerning messages from our favourite law player, I have found the best deck. No skip, as I am not okay. Please send some help. Presenting Blue Yellow Queen. This deck is very consistent with cards like Perona, Doflamingo, and Carrot. If you see one of these turn 1, you are flying. We are also playing the Great Equalizer, Charlotte Pudding. And on top of that, we are playing some very, very strong trigger cards. Cards like You're the One Who Should Disappear, 3 cost Kapung Beji, 3 cost Charlotte Brule, and 3 cost Don Quixote Doflamingo. Our mid game is very, very strong, with cards like 5 cost Gadatsu, probably one of the greatest cards of starving. With this new 5 cost Sabo from OP12. This card lets us take a life, draw 2, and trash 1. Importantly, we can trash a brick out of our hand. Also, joining us in OP12, we have 6 cost Bartholomew Kuma. This card lets us trash a brick out of our hands to heal a life. Hopefully you were able to stack like a Charlotte Brule or Boa Hancock into your life with 1 cost Perona and 3 cost Doflamingo. And discard a brick so we can get to that 4 card threshold for our leader effect. Rounding out our magnificent endgame, we have some very, very strong high ends. With 9 cost Sanji. This card is broken in UP Luffy for a reason. UP can stack their deck, so can we. Also stealing from UP Luffy, we're playing 8 cost Secret Rare OP11 Luffy. This card is very good. It lets us fight against aggro decks such as Bello Betty by bouncing cards back to their hand and removing their bodies by battle and 1 by effect, while giving us a Rest of Dawn onto our leader so we can activate our leader effect. We are also playing some of the greatest hits of yellow with 8 cost Katakuri and 9 cost Yamato. And we're playing Gum Gum Red Rock, our favourite Raigo replacement. This card is broken. Please Bandai, please give me back Kingdom Come. With that, let's get to the games and see how we do. For the first game of the day, we're going to win the dice roll against Red Green Smoker. We choose to go first, which is usually what Queen wants to go. And we mulligan into 3 bricks. Hopefully we're going to find something good off of this Perona, so we don't just die like a dog. And that's pretty good. We say to ourselves 3 down turn, 5 down turn, 7 down turn, 9 down turn. Oh, look at that. We find the target for Sanji. And we even have a second stacker, so we can maybe try to stack a trigger off of that heal from Yamato. Passing over to our opponent. Our opponent is on 2 Dawn, contemplating a little bit of what he wants to play. Plays down their Virgo, finding himself a Kinemon 2K. And he plays on a Perona. And it seems that he's picked up a Kyoshiro. We swing 5 at him because we have Charlotte Pudding. And yeah, our opponent swings at us. On 4 Dawn. Double Kyoshiro. No Smoker, which is a very, very good sign. Because we've not seen him search one. So we just play Gadatsu, kill Kinemon. And we leave the Pudding in our hand. Seems like our opponent is very wary of Pudding, so I don't think we're going to have a play this turn. Hopefully he has no Smoker this turn, and we just win the game on the spot. And we see the 6 cost Trafalgar Law. This law is super annoying for our deck just due to the fact that we have no way of removing it. He swings 6 at us, we take, we play 3 cost Donkey Kote Doflamingo, and look at that, that's 3 trigger cards we can heal off of our Yamato. We think to ourselves a little bit, deciding to maybe delay the Yamato turn by 1. Oh, we do not. No, we do. We're going to play down the second Doflamingo blocker here. Our opponent is going to be on 8 Dawn, so we need to prepare for the chance that he plays 8 cost Mihawk. So we delay our Yamato turn, thinking we're going to play Katakuri next turn. Fortunately, we don't have a lot of bricks and 2 blockers. So next turn, we're just going to try and counter most things. And Hody Jones comes down. This is one of the arch nemesis of our deck due to the fact that we're playing with a very small hand and 2 blockers. If everything goes leader here, we're in a very, very rough spot. But fortunately, our opponent goes for board. And 8 lead. Ooh, look at that. A blind Boa Hancock trigger. How lovely. I love playing yellow. Back to us now. We're gonna swing 5 life. Hopefully he counters. We're gonna go 7 life. Has to take. But chooses to demo again, and for 8, we are just going to remove that Hody Jones. Next turn, we are drawing into a 1k counter, and we can Sanji Yamato and heal a very important trigger card. All we need to do this turn is not go to 0. And ew, that is a Mihawk into Smoker. Exactly what I didn't want to see. Fortunately though, he is on 4 life, we are at 1. So Yamato could, in theory, pop that Smoker. However, there is, of course, protection from Kyoshiro. And that is going to swing at us for 1. And let's just counter everything. So we kind of a save Sanji into Yamato, killing Kyoshiro turn. We're going to 3 on 3 and 8 on 8. Hopefully he bricks. He does not. And we're in a very rough spot. Our leader effect should be live next turn no matter what, and he plays down the second Dracula Mihawk. If our opponent doesn't rest or board this turn, we are basically dead. Fortunately, he swings. Losing the Katakuri is a little unfortunate, but what can you do? And that's a new Kobe. That Kobe is our arch nemesis. That card can kill our blocker Boa and draw a card. Exactly what we don't want to see. Yeah, a lead coming at us now. We ditch the hand so we can leader effect. Very good that we can red rock. And let's just go ahead and clear this board. 9k to the 8k Smoker. Our opponent is thinking about blocking, but goes through. 9k to the 8k Law, leader effect, heal 1. It's probably worth noting that all this life is blind except for the second last one. And our opponent top decks into another Smoker. Ew. Hopefully he swings out with the Kobe here so we can play Brule next turn. And we're going to take, and oh my god, would you look at that? That is a top deck Kuma. Our opponent draw another card. Hopefully this is not any protection for the Smoker, so we can hopefully top deck Yamato and kill it. 8 coming at us now. And we take the beige that we know to our hand since we can't counter it. Top deck Red Rock, letting us clear that just for free. Playing out Charlotte Brule, swing 6 at the 7k Kobe just to heal because we do not want to give him cards in hand. And killing the Kobe. That Red Rock top deck was super fortunate, or else we would not be able to heal with leader effect this turn. Contemplating swinging out 9k with Sanji, realizing that if we swing it, our opponent can just remove it. And our opponent plays out another top deck Smoker. What is this top deck where we're playing top deck after top deck after top deck? 12k at the Yamato, we're just going to find the block. 7k at lead. Perfect. 2k, 1k. And that Smoker is going to die. Here, we really think about whether we want to heal or we want to draw. We choose to heal because we're not going to play out this ace cost Luffy just so we can protect at least one thing on our board, and we don't want to be dying to Hody. If the smoker swings just a regular 7, we could just ditch our whole hand and protect the 1 life. Our opponent picks up OP10 Sanji, the 3 cost 6k Sanji that on KO draws a card, and finds himself a law. And wow, these top decks are really doing a number. 10k now coming at the Yamato, we counter out, and our Yamato gets to live. Opponent has 7k banish, we have to take unfortunately, and our opponent has 3 cards in hand. Let's just go 9, 11, 13, and let's see what happens. If our opponent counters this, we can just go 13 at the smoker and heal a life. And Rashomon, 2k, 1k, and a brick. For our second game of the day, we're playing against OP06 Gecko Moria. We lose the dice roll unfortunately, but he chooses to go second anyway. And that mulligan did not go very well. We drew every brick in our deck. 3 Dawn, at least we have a play. Swing 7, our opponent plays out the 2k Prona, which unironically helps us get rid of a brick out of our hand. Top decking into the 3 cost Doflamingo now, and we do find a 9 cost Sanji to potentially play at some point. Also, in the top, we have Kuma that we can draw next turn, and hopefully discard another brick out of our hand to heal a red rock, to, control our opponent's board a little bit. 5k coming at us, we're going to 1k counter, because we cannot counter the next one, which is likely going to be 6. 6 at us, playing out the Absalom to KOing our blocker. We swing 6k at the Prona, played the Kuma, ditching a red rock to heal a red rock. Our opponent now, thinking about what he's going to do, swings 5 at us. We have to counter the 5 since we only have a 1k. Next 5 we have to take, bottom decking the Prona. Unfortunately, there is another Prona engraved, so not gonna do the greatest. Our opponent plays Rebecca, play Brooke, and swing 6 at us, playing out a Hogback to add nothing. And 6 at us we have to take, and wow, another Sanji out of life. Back to us, we swing 5 at the Brook, and 7 playing out the Yamato, killing the Absalom. And looking at our hands, we are probably dead on board if our opponent decides to go for a game. 5k at us, we're going to 2k counter, praying to the lords that we hit some trigger. 5k again, we have to take, and no trigger. Tempest kick, minusing our Kuma. And he plays 6 cost Gecko Moria. Ooh, looks like we get to survive another turn, since our opponent decided to play safe. Moria, play Rebecca, grab back the 2k counter Prona, 5k at us, and then 6 we have to take. Please don't be a brick, please be 0 cost, please be 0 cost, please be 0 cost, and it is not. 4 bricks in hand, and a prayer. We cannot even leader effect this turn, unless we play a cost category. I contemplate here for a very long time on exactly what to do, but swing out the board. There's really no difference in what we play out here. I think I eventually decide to play out the 8 cost category just so we can remove our opponent's 6 cost Gecko Moria. That is the biggest thing on their field. And we can swing 7 to the Brook, healing 1, and our opponent lets it die. Let's hope that last card can save us. If it's not a beige or a trigger, we lose. Our opponent swings 7, I take, and that's all she wrote. Game 3 now, we lose the dice roll against Kuzan and get sent first. Would have loved to go second and take that curve away from Kuzan, but it is what it is. We play out the Perona, finding ourselves a pudding, very importantly, and we're going to try to draw the pudding and try to stack our deck again next turn and probably send the rest to the bottom is the initial thought. And yeah, to the bottom it goes. 5k to lead, we take, and oh my god, that's a category. That's pretty good. Our opponent plays like a Gion, which is interesting. I wonder maybe their hand's not the greatest. We don't play any events that we really care about, so it's fine. And we hit another trigger. Let's go! 5k to lead. We're going to counter out with the Kaya, holding on to this pudding for dear life. And our opponent's doing some very peculiar plays. We're going to swing into this Gion. Our opponent's going to use Pheasant Peck, probably just a cycle. We can go 5k with the Prona, getting so much value, just milking their hand. And 5k with our Dofi blocker. Now we kill it. Looking at our hand, that pudding is probably not going to be useful ever. So we can use it for counter down the line. And he didn't find the Garp. 8 cost Aramaki getting immediately removed by 8 cost category. And all they have left on board is a 1 cost Tashigi. 6 cost Kuzan coming down now. If we top deck a Yamato, we can just kill this Kuzan. And we find ourselves a Dofi blocker, and that is another category. Phenomenal. We stack the category, so we draw the Dofi next turn, and we can Sanji into category for a very strong play. That, if our opponent does find a Garb this turn, we are in a little rough spot, which he does into Kuzan. Not the biggest a deal. There is no 7 cost Sakazuki on field at the moment, so we're feeling pretty safe. 5k at lead, we're going to counter. 8k, we're going to block. Thinking about block countering so we can heal next turn. And yeah, I think we should be dropping the 2k Beige with a 0 cost. And Sanji in the category, removing that. 6k at the rested Kuzan, healing 1. We decide not to swing out our category, as the moment we swing it out, it's probably going to die. We don't really want to be swinging out our board unless we can have multiple swings at our opponent's board or life. Our opponent drawing into the 1 cost Tashigi, finding himself the 7 cost Sakazuki, which lets him draw 2. Swing 8k at us, we're going to block, and top deck a Red Rock that we knew was there, and play Dofi. Now we say to ourselves, we could heal 1, what do we want to heal? 6k at life, we heal, I think, the 4 cost Pudding, because our opponent's hand size is getting just a little too big for comfort. Our opponent going to Red Rock again. 8k at us. We knew what was there. So let's play Yamato and kill one of their bodies. 6k at life, leader effect, heal 1. Heal 1, feel great. This Queen ability is online. Our hand is 2-0 cost. We're never going to struggle getting cards out of hand. Opponent swing 5 at us and 5 again. The other list counter. And bouncing the Doflamingo back to hand. We know the card is a Red Rock, so we decide to counter take. One of the things that Queen does very well on 10 on is Red Rock, play Red Rock for 6, then Doflamingo for 3, and leader effect, heal 1. And 9k now, going at the Kuzan. Thinking about just blind leader ability to swing bigger, but we play the Prona, and oh my god, that is another category and another Red Rock. I feel really bad for our opponent, as we have just hit the Queen jackpot this game. We're thinking about healing the Zeus and drawing the Red Rock as a draw for turn, which pretty good. Next turn we can Red Rock, Dofi, heal again. Passing back to our opponent. Let's see if they can find another Garp. And our opponent starts off by playing Tashigi, finding himself this 7 cost Sakazuki. Garp into Sakazuki now is looking a little scary. Now our opponent, 7k at us. Unfortunately, we have to take. 8k at us is going to find the block. Now, back to us. 8k at the Kuzan. 8k at the Kuzan. Our opponent finally lets it die. We play the blocker, finding ourselves a Beige at the top of our deck that we can heal into our life, which is chef's kiss. We go 6k at leader effect, heal 1. And our opponent contemplates and counter take. Doesn't really matter, because I think we should be swinging out this Yamato here anyway, no matter what. And we're just going to go ahead and Red Rock Sakazuki. We have 2 life, a 2k, and a blocker on board. We know we are not dying this turn because we have a Capone in hand. 5k coming at us. We're going to counter. And 5k again. We're going to take. And trigger. Your Garb can attack, haha. Draw for turn. We are going to find the category, removing the Garb. 7k at leader, leader effect heal 1. And our opponent has 3 down up, but let's just kill him. 8k at life, gonna Pheasant Peck him. Why did Bandai give that deck a Gum Giant? 9k at life now. Our opponent to be able to block or take. I believe he takes in the end. And no, we're gonna find a Pheasant Peck and a 1k. And importantly, he discarded the another Garb, so we are not in too much pressure. Unfortunately, we are kind of dead to 3,000 worlds here, since remove the Doffy and our opponent can go like 7-7-7. Not ideal, but let's see if he can find the out. And our opponent just tanks for a moment, thinking to himself, how have I just lost a game to Queen with blue Kuzan? And our opponent goes 5 at us. I think about taking, and we take in the end. Now we're really doomed to something like, Hina making our blocker useless. 7 alive we have to take, and damn, that is a blind 0 cost event. Our opponent ponders a little bit and decides to scoop. GG's. For our last game of the day, we are playing against the Metis BDIF. Losing the dice roll again, we get sent going second, and the hand is 6k at us, and we really think about playing Zeus this turn, but there's no point. We really shouldn't have spawned the 6, as he takes and plays into Bagua, and we have no pudding in hand. 5k at us, we find the counter. 6k at us, we take, and our opponent rams 3 down up. Are we going to get Thunder Bagua? This turn, because I really want to play out the Kuma, and we need to save the pudding for later, and we play straight into the Thunder Bagua, and our opponent has successfully triple ramped us. Leader effect, finding him a Gum Giant, the rest of the cards putting on top. Kind of scary. 6k lead, we have to counter. And Sanji into. Is that a 6 cost Sanji? This is pretty good. I don't think our opponent really knows what they're doing. Hopefully we can try an out skill. 10k going at them. Hopefully they take and we play, but he plays Gum Giant, drawing 2 and extra 0-0 for the 1k. 7k at lead now. He finds the 2k and we play a blocker Boa. Our opponent is just playing so well into this Charlotte pudding, finding himself a gear 2, rest of the cards on top, and he's going to grab blade away our board. This is not looking good for us. And we drop ourselves down to 1 Yamato kill and 6k at leader, which he finds the 1k. Leader effect again, Sanji into Luffy. That is double Sanji. And we find the Capone, but is it enough? We're looking at this as, this is kind of rough. Next turn we can go double blocker into swing big to heal 1 with our leader effect. And leader effect heal 1 into something, and 12k at the Luffy, and he lets it go. Maybe there's a chance. Finding himself another gear second, putting the rest to the bottom, and 6k coming at us lead, we have the 2k. 9k coming at us, we take, and 9k we block. And our opponent is going to red rock away our 9 cost. Long day. We look at the board state. How do we live? We play category, no effects, we need the Yamato for a double heal later on, and 7 at life, which he has the counter for. Finding himself another Gum Giant, rest of the cards to the top, and what is he going? Another 9 cost Sanji, and we have not found a single 9 cost Sanji, and he's found 3. Much to do about nothing. 9k at life, blind 0 cost, and 9k at life again. Looking at our hand is a little doomed. And we think we are playing out the 3 cost Doflamingo. 8 at lead. 8k with the category going at lead first though. Our opponent probably going to Gum Giant this. And we look through our trash. We play this, we find a 0 cost. Unfortunately, we need to find both 0 cost and we scoop it up. That's not a bad performance considering we're playing what is considered a tier 10 leader. Let's get to the pros and cons. 1. This deck is very, very fun to play. 2. This deck is also very, very skill rewarding. Whenever you lose a game, it's usually your fault. And 3. Being able to 9 cost Sanji into any high end and heal 1 on curve is just game winning on the spot. And now for the cons. 1. This deck can be a little bricky. 2. It's very difficult to predict what your opponent's going to do when you have a Kuma on field. If you don't expect them to kill the Kuma, you could mess up your stack. 3. This deck is super, super difficult to pilot correctly. One mistake, and because the leader is inherently very, very squishy, one mistake usually means you die the turn after. Well, that's that. Thank you all for tuning in to another episode of 10 Dawn Testing. A big thank you goes out to all the channel members on screen right now. These videos are made possible by our channel members and occasionally going to be suggested by them as well. If you have any questions regarding Queen, as it is one of my favorite leaders of all time, please leave a comment, like and subscribe. And we'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.